recording. Okay, exchange variation. So black should probably play h6 here, bishop here, and then bring the knight in. Let's see if that happens. Okay, this is a little slower. Okay, I think this is proper. I know sometimes white will accelerate the queen to this square to stop this knight from coming into e4. Let's see, take. Now bishop d3. We have rook e8. We even have bishop f5. We might even have f5. Oh, wait a minute, this is hanging. Okay, I have to be careful here. I know, so we're not ready for knight here. Okay, that's why he played c6. I know there's a line where white does brings the queen out early. Black has to play this to protect this. And then when he plays bishop d3, knight e4 is stopped. Okay, so I've seen this line before. Now, objectively speaking, we're looking for the minority attack for both sides. And I have illustrated this in a number of games. White's plan is to safely move his pawn to b5, black's to f4. And if black ever takes, he'll have an isolated d-pawn. If white takes, should black take back with a piece, he has an isolated d-pawn. Should he take back with a pawn, he has a backward pawn on the open file. And the exact same things are true on the other side of the board with f4. If white takes, he'll have an isolated queen pawn. If he doesn't, black will take, and white will have a backward pawn on the open file. And I've seen countless games with a minority attack on the lower levels, and I've seen there's three possibilities. One side does the minority attack, neither side does the minority attack, or both sides do the minority attack. Every time I've seen one side do the minority attack, they've gotten an advantage and won. Okay, when I've seen neither side do the minority attack, the result is random. It depends on what mistake someone makes. But I've never seen a game where both sides do the minority attack. And, you know, I've had students who I've taught the minority attack. They have a chance to play it. They don't play it because they're afraid. So what are you afraid about? You know, what is there to be afraid about creating weakness in your opponent's position? What do you do if he then creates one in yours? So I've seen this setup before. It's designed to delay knight e4 and thus delay the minority attack. So let's see how these guys handle this. Okay. Is that really necessary? I don't quite see the purpose of this unless it's to avoid an eventual bishop g4. I mean, h3 just doesn't make sense. Let's castle. Now, is black finally ready for this? Let's see. Takes. Let's take this, gain a tempo. And black's winning a piece. So let's back this up. Takes. We have to save the knight. We could try the minority attack here. No, we can't. This drops. Sorry. We can't play knight f6. Well, we can always play bishop back here. Black has picked up the bishop pair. But we didn't have to go into this line. We can take here. Now, knight takes e4 is a blunder by white. It's going to get him forked. So, you know, white needs to go in for the minority attack. He can't do that yet, but he can prepare it. Okay. So let's see what happens. So now he was planning for this, but the difference is white didn't get castled. He wants to castle queenside. Okay, that to me is very risky. Okay. Obviously, white is saying I want to pawn storm you, and I understand you're going to pawn storm me. So, but if white were to do the minority attack, it's gonna soften up his king position a lot. So white is saying I'm not going to run the minority attack. I'm going to attack your king. So how does black make progress here? Well, I would throw caution to the wind and just play a5. I might consider b5, even though it weakens this. There's possibilities to drop this knight in here and induce a weakness in white's position. So captures. I guess he's going to play here next and bring the knight in. No, he's got, okay, do my other move. Okay, this is fine. So white better find an attack here. Right now he's defending against black's attack, which is just getting started. Now that's the wrong place to put the knight. You know, you don't want to defend, you want to attack. You know, it's like, what's wrong with this move? Okay, the point, like I said, point is if this happens, you know, we're getting weaknesses in the white position. You know, maybe follow up with this. Maybe even follow up with knight here, or even knight here. But putting that knight f8 doesn't seem like the right choice. Okay, I'm still waiting for both sides to do their pawn storm. Both sides are playing defense. Okay, here comes the pawn storm. Now, is there anything wrong with taking this and covering an attack on the queen? Maybe he's going to go here, right? I don't know. This guy is pinned. I don't know. This seems like the correct move. I'll be the first one to say I'm missing something. Let's see. We have to deal with the queen. We don't do this because we've got the bishop on it. We don't win 2 rooks for the queen. We either have to play this or play a pawn down. And you know, this just steps into a pin. The idea of coming over here, break the pin. And there's a pawn down here. Let's see. Let's get that pawn with check.
Check.
You know, none of this is forced. I'm just moving pieces around.
Check.
Trying to find ideas.
Check.
You know, black has won a pawn. Okay, let's see what happens. This is still on the table. He doesn't want to do it. I mean, how can this not be good? I mean, this is good too, but how can this not, taking there, not be good? Black has 3 pawns against 2. He's going to force open some lines, but white's still going to try to get his minority attack, or his center attack, or pawn storm going. Okay, watch the queen. Queen's running out of squares. Has to go back to c2, it looks like. And there goes that pawn after all. So, White started his pawn storm, but he stopped it. He's just plain stopped it. Well, look at White's time. He's running out. Black is moving too quick, and he's getting away with it.
Check.
So what did he take there? He took a bishop. I guess he has to. The queen is overloaded, guarding 2 squares.
Check.
But the queen is also overloaded, guarding 2 squares over here. See, you take, black takes, white takes, and this gets munched on.
Check.
So black's up a healthy pawn, and he can even push down there. He wants another pawn instead.
Check.
Now this is getting really dangerous for black.
Check. Check.
These pawns are just too strong. Now his idea says, if you take this, I'm just going to play here, and I'm going to force a queen through.
Check. Check.
Drive the king further away, and it looks like the game ended here. Let's see. White resigns. Coming down here next. That's pretty gruesome. Okay, so let's see. Trying to see what point that, remember where that move was. Let's just go back to move 18. So 30, 26, back 52. Okay. Like I say, I don't see what's wrong with taking here. This just seems to be near decisive. I mean, if here you're playing down a pawn, black has won a pawn. So after this and this, I mean, this is still strong for white, but I mean strong for black, but he's still got this pawn storm coming, and white's has been ground to a halt. Oh well. Good game. Cool for chess.